We're here for part 3 of wood burning a knife handle. This is where we left off. We burnt Helvie and drew some things in the center, and I think we're just going to leave him alone in case I change my mind. But I've been thinking about putting a gnome on the side over here, or some kind of goofy character, so we'll draw that in real quick. Draw a nose here, and I mean, this is just guidelines. Some kind of hat. I think they have like kind of goofy hats on, bend, and I don't know, maybe even have a little ball on the end of them. I'm gonna put this big old mustache on him. Maybe some long hair. And they probably got some kind of robe that comes down. Some little feet that stick up, maybe.
Hi, Dave. Dave's coming to us from Pennsylvania.
We'll put some feet on him down here. Like I said, these are just guidelines. So if you want to add stuff to it, plus you can put designs on his robe. There, we got us a little gnome on there. And I like to use the whole part of the knife, so whether it goes up or down towards the bottom.
Got little feet.
Yeah, little feet. You could even, later on, if you think of something you want to put down around the bottom, or another one on the other side, or one, maybe we'll put one peeking over the top. But we'll burn this one in. So I'm going to set my burner on, I'm going to guess 5. Somewhere around there. Like I said, I use the heavy duty side. And this is the only tip that I use. It's the MC tip.
You gotta move it because one's got a black background like that against it. It doesn't show. Can you turn it sideways? No, sideways. There you go. Okay.
So I tested on the leather to see if it's gonna have any little charred pieces on it. And then I'll just start going over my lines here. And when you're doing shading, you kind of want to outline it and then erase your pencil lines off of it. You know, you can put little creases in his hat. Maybe even a little cut out there. These are cartoons, so characters, cartoons. Nothing has to be symmetrical or perfect. Well, we're having a nice rainy day here.
Yeah. Sorry for the vibration. It thundered outside, and one of the little dogs got scared and just kind of knocked some things loose over here. Milo's trying to sneak up in between Rich and I because he's scared of the thunder. It's okay, buddy.
Yeah, we'll make this a hippie gnome. Long-haired hippie gnome. And there we got put his little feet in here. I guess he's got some kind of weird shoes on. Elf shoes, gnome shoes. All right, now we got our gnome on there. And as you notice, I like to outline stuff so when you burn it or paint it, you still can see some of the knife wood. That's why I haven't went in around Helvie yet. Not real sure because I may put something in here that I want to outline around it. So now we have that. And like I said, I never work on something constantly. I switch from side to side. So I think maybe we'll draw us another flower in here. I'll say draw. I'm just going to burn it on here. And they don't all have to be the same flowers. So we got little gaps in here. Dog's trying to get on my
Yeah,
arm.
sorry. Well, hang on. Look, see, he can't help it. He's scared of the thunder, guys.
So if there's a crooked line,
It's the dog's fault.
well, they're crooked. If there's an extremely crooked line, then I might have got bumped a little bit. Then you have a nice little spot in here you might want to save and think about putting some in there. Or if you want some more flowers, there's, oh my gosh, there's so many different kinds of flowers. The ones that got those heavy little burn spots, and I don't know what they're called. Oh, maybe we'll work on shading that one in. So I'm going to go to 4 just to test it. I think we've talked about different, if you see the grain lines in that wood, when you hit that over in here, it's going to change the color a little bit. So I'm going to find where I want my dark and then to light to be. So I'll pick a side and I'll just keep going over it and over it. And I may change the temperature if I don't like how dark it's burning it. But as I move away from that area, I start lightening up on the tip and moving it faster. So I get that blend look. And over here, I want it darker because I want you to be able to see that petal. So I'm going to start with slower little swirls. And just keep going back and forth over it because I don't want it to be black or I just turn up the heat. See, I told you about one of those lines right there. It is. You can see it. Can you see that in there?
The grain.
Mm-hmm. Not much you can do about it. So we're going to stick with the dark part being on this side. And we're going to make sure we can separate this petal right here. So as I get further and further away from my dark, I start moving faster and I'm not pushing very hard. Then I may come in here and blend it a little bit more if I want it just a little bit darker. And see, I can't hardly see the separation there, so I am going to darken this in on this first petal that we did. Just a little bit there. So he'll be a happy flower. Yeah, I used to watch Bob Ross, the painter, painted happy trees. But believe it or not, I didn't want to be Bob Ross. So we're going to do this to all these petals, and this is something to really practice on. Because if you want it to look like leather or show depth, you've got to have light and dark in there. And you can even, this petal's behind these petals. So you can even make it just darker completely and then lighten up towards the tip. So our shadow as we move down is going to get a little bit wider down in here. So we're going to make that darker and then go lighter. And then we're going to darken this up just a hair right in here. Then your petal down here, which you're not going to see much of it, so you can just kind of make it all dark. And then, like I said, I like to dot the inside, but we can shade this one. You can put little different patterns in here. They don't have to be dark dots. Now this one, say we want to make it look like it has a little divide in the middle of this petal. So we're going to burn our line in there, and then I'm going to start burning over here on the edge of it. And then I'm going to fade into that, what I did in the middle of it. So it looks like there's a crease in the middle of that petal.
It kind of goes along with the grain, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is easier to burn sometimes with the grain, but this grain's running like this. So if you're looking for wood to practice on flat pieces, birch wood is really good, but try to look for pieces that don't have that. It has big wide grain in it, so you can burn in between them. It's going to have grain, but boy, if they're real tight like that all through it, you're going to have them little burn lines. And like I said, pine is a no-no. It'll just, at least for me, you know, maybe not you, I don't know. But it has so much sap in it, it comes out and it, I think, kind of ruins your tip. So, you know, I'd like to flower things up. This is one that I think you guys had seen a while back as a work in progress. So, you know, I like the flower, the leathery look. So we can maybe add little more of the traditional cartoon flower with the petals on it. And notice I'm burning light. It's not very dark because I want to darken it in as I shade it. But this is something that we'll keep doing, and we'll add some other designs in here. I'll just have to maybe look at it for a little bit. We're going to burn these a little bit lighter than we did the other ones. So once again, I'm just swirling along where I want my dark to start and then fading up to the top. And I don't like leaving something unburnt. I like to burn it, but leave it really light. Because, I don't know, I just think the color of the wood, when you burn it all, so I didn't burn that one very heavy. You can just barely see them petals in there.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we'll darken that up just a hair right in there. And we'll do it over here. Start down here, and you know, this is probably going to get redundant as we keep burning the same things over and over, light to dark, but you know, we'll try to work through, and we'll add some other stuff. We'll burn that gnome next week. And versus painting, I think the knives look better. 85, 90% burnt, maybe 10% painted. So we'll turn our heat up to 6, and we'll make these centers darker. Once again, I'm just barely touching it, so I left it just a hair lighter in there. Might be hard to see on the phone. I don't know.
Yeah, we
On
don't
the
have
video.
like we don't have like high tech equipment or nothing.
So I think we'll wrap it up there. It's been about 15 minutes, and that's something to practice on. And we'll think of some picture to put in there, maybe some weird looking animal. Or but next week we'll work on burning that gnome.
Milo's sitting behind you that keeps bumping you.
That's all
Yeah,
right.
there's Milo. He's scared. He doesn't like thunder or lightning. He's just a big baby.
Me either. Holly has to hold me.
Oh my word!
But
So
you know, thunder only happens when it's raining, according to Fleetwood Mac. All right.
we're full of it.
Hey, thanks for watching.
See you guys later.